What's up everybody? Today we're going to turn a birdhouse ornament out of a natural branch. I got this piece out of my backyard. I don't really know what it is. It came down in the last hurricane we had here, so I do have an abundance of it. It's got a really cool bark, some greens, some reds. Really enjoy it. It'll make a really good ornament. A couple pieces of mahogany. We got our bird, got our little dowel that we're going to use for the perch for the bird, and a few drill bits. We have a 1.5 and a 1-inch Forstner bit, and we're going to use the 1.5 to kind of hollow out most of the branch itself. We're going to use the 1-inch to cut the hole for the opening for the bird, and we're going to use the 3/16 inch straight bit to cut the hole for the perch. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the drill press and cut out our opening for the bird. See you there. All right, we've got it between centers. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn a tenon right here on this side. Okay, we've got that tenon there. What we're going to do, we're going to flip it around, put it in a chuck, and then we're going to hollow out part of this inside. All right, we got our 1.5-inch Forstner bit in here, and we're going to start to hollow some of this out. All right, we've got our piece flipped around, so this is our bottom, and there's a couple different things we could do here. If you wanted to just leave a flat bottom, honestly, there's different ways you could take off this tenon here. I've done that in a lot of my videos. You could go sand it off, you could part it off, you could do whatever you want. And that'd be perfectly fine to just leave a completely flat bottom and then just add a top to it. I personally like to add top and bottom to my ornaments, so that's what we're gonna do. I've got this in here in the small spigot jaws expanded. We left a little bit of meat here, right? So there's some strength, but you still have to be careful. I'm sure if we cranked on this, we could probably split this log if we really tried. So we do have to be careful. It's on there really good, but what we're gonna do as we start to drill, we're gonna listen for any cracking. If we start to hear cracks, we're gonna have to stop and go to plan B. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, there we go. We should be all the way through. Okay, now that I still have this on the spigot jaws here in the expansion mode, I'm going to take this time to take this little piece off. I'm just going to use a bowl gouge. And I know you guys couldn't tell, but I wish there was such a thing as smell-o-vision, because as this wood was burning in here, whatever this is, it smelled very much like popcorn. It smelled delicious. Okay, let's check that out. Feels pretty good. There'll be a little bit left on there. Yeah, just some of these little fibers on there. We'll take this to a sanding wheel and flatten that the rest of the way. And if you notice, when we were boring out from the top, when we had the chuck here, you know, and it was flipped around, it went through pretty aggressively because we had a really good hold on it. when we were boring through this side with the Forstner bit, and also right now when I was taking this off with the bowl gouge, I went very softly, because even though we have a decent grip in here, we don't want to stress it out. We want to give it its time, let it do what it needs to do before we get that out. Just a heads up. All right, I got a $1.80 sanding grit pad on here, and we're just going to hit the bottom and then the top and just get everything nice and flat. All right, there we go. All right, we got one of our pieces of mahogany between centers. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna true it up here, and then we're gonna put our tenon on. What we'll do is we'll size that. It'll become our tenon, but what it is actually, it'll be the entry into either our top or the bottom. We'll probably start with the bottom first. Okay, you can see we did a little bit of an undercut here. That way when we put it on, it'll just have a little bit of an overhang with our ornament piece, with our body. And what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna sand a little bit, pretty much just this underneath side and just a little bit over this bevel before we flip it over. That way we won't have to worry about it again. All right, that'll be the top. So we're gonna sand this up a little bit just like we did the other one, and then we'll flip both of them over into the chucks and finish them off. Okay, we got it in the chuck. Now we're gonna come through here and do our final shaping for the bottom piece. All right, let's take a look at that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's get it sanded up. All right, we got the bottom all sanded up. I'm going to add some wax to it before we take it off the lathe here. There we go. All right, beautiful. I don't know if you could see the chatoyance, but it's certainly there. All right, let's take this out. We'll put our other side in. All right, we've got our other piece on here, and I think I'm going to take some creative freedom here. I actually really enjoy this as the top once I lined it up in the body blank. So I'm going to make this the bottom. So we've got 4 little bevels here. I think we're going to do 2 or 3 on this one. Let's see how that goes. Oh man, now I kind of like that one too for the top. All right, let's get this set up and we'll we'll make a decision. I'm gonna get it sanded up next. Okay, we got it all sanded up. We're going to add our wax again. All right, there we go, rather. Time to make some decisions. All right, I had to go poll the audience a little bit, but ultimately what we agreed on is the 3 on the bottom and the 4 on the top. Everybody said they liked it better that way, so that's what we're going to do. Next, we're going to glue that in, and we will glue our little pedestal in. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue our little pedestal in. So I lightly sanded a little part of it, and the other side is the side that's going to go in just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue. It's just regular Type-On. It's Type-On 3, I should say. And peel that off of there. Okay. I'm actually going to add glue from the inside. It's a little hard to see on camera. Oh, I added quite a bit in there. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can see that, how it's in there. Okay, I'm just going to turn it over for a minute. Let it come a little more forward. Wipe this glue off real quick. trying to get that glue to go in there. Okay. Now we're just going to add our pedestal in. Just pushing it in slightly. I'm going to check it in the back, and yeah, it seats really well. Probably really hard to see that in there, but it's sitting right there. Okay, that'll work. Next thing we'll add is we'll add our top. And what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to add just a little bit around the top on the inside. There we go. That looks good. I'm just going to smooth it out with my finger. I'm going to take a little bit of that and just come on top. I don't want it to be too much because I don't want it coming out the sides when we press everything into place. Make sure I got all the glue off my hands. I'm going to grab this and just press it in. Make sure it got a good fit. Okay. Yeah, it looks nice. And I can take a look in there. You can see we got decent squeeze out in there, but nothing over the top. So that's cool. So we're going to do the same thing to our bottom side. Hopefully I'm staying remotely on camera. Sorry if I'm not. Okay. There we go. Again, I'm just wiping the glue off my hand. And this one's a little bit looser. So we got it on there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clamp it like that overnight. And then we'll come back and we'll finish it off tomorrow. See you then.